As I was researching and writing for another video for the channel, I got a comment from a new subscriber on one of my videos. Natu Jenks commented, "Hey, got a subject I'd like you to look up, study, and make a segment on. M Cave, it's a wild story. Veach is alive." Of course, I was instantly intrigued and wanted to check out this story, so I decided to jump right into the rabbit hole, but little did I know how deep this could possibly go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump down this rabbit hole together on the story of the M Cave and the mysterious disappearance of Kenny Veach. In 2014, on a video titled "Son of an Area 51 Technician," Kenny commented under his YouTube channel name Snake Bit McGee, "That ain't nothing. I'm a long distance hiker. One time during one of my hikes out by Nellis Air Force Base, I found a hidden cave. The entrance to the cave was shaped like a perfect capital M. I always enter every cave I find, but as I began to enter this particular cave, my whole body began to vibrate. The closer I got to the cave entrance, the worse the vibrating became. Suddenly, I became very scared and hightailed it out of there. That was one of the strangest things that has ever happened to me." Of course, a comment like this sent waves of interest on exactly what he had run into in the Nevada desert. Majority of the comments wanted Kenny to head back to the cave and film his discoveries on his channel so everyone can see exactly what he saw. So Kenny set out just to do that. In October of 2014, Kenny posted a 21-minute video to his YouTube channel about his hike trying to find the end cave that he talked about in the comment section of the Area 51 video. This time he set out with his 9mm handgun and his camera so he could document his findings. Now, the biggest problem with this video is he couldn't find the M cave that he talked about. Instead of admitting this in the beginning of the video, everyone was a little upset that he sat through the whole video and the cave he talked about was never found. To say the comment section was filled with negativity would be an understatement. Determined to please his fans and followers, he agreed to head back out in search of the cave again. But before we move on with the story, there was one comment that stood out amongst all the rest. A user by the name of Lemmi Killmister commented, "No, don't go back out there. If you find that cave entrance, don't go in, you won't get out." Kenny would comment asking what he meant by his comment, but no response from Lemmi Killmister. Despite the warning, Kenny headed out in search for the end cave on November 10th of 2014. He told his family he was going on a short hiking trip for a few days, but he never returned. From what we know, Kenny was a very experienced hiker. In another comment on the Area 51 video, he stated, "I have been doing this sort of thing for over 20 years. I go where no one goes, and I never take anyone with me. I find skulls of all shapes and sizes, and occasionally I find a really old animal trap. I hike over mountaintops after mountaintop and sleep on the peaks under the stars. Sometimes I have to scale giant cliffs to get myself out of a jam, but I always make it back. I'm beat up and tired, and my pack is almost always heavier than when I left. I had to be rescued only one time by a helicopter and had to blown out my left leg at the top of the mountain. I only had a cup of water left to get me 20 miles back to my truck. It was also over 100 degrees out, so I have a very good safety record." So if everything that Kenny stated was true, he was a very experienced hiker, but he would also take unnecessary risks at all times. Possibly he took too much of a risk of time on his hike and was unable to get back to the safety of his home. Once Kenny didn't return home to his girlfriend, filed a missing person report, and the search for Kenny Veach began. Investigators were able to track Kenny's trail to an abandoned mine shaft that was actually in part of Kenny M's cave video. At the top of the mine shaft was Kenny's cell phone and some loose change. After this discovery, Kenny's trail would surprisingly go cold. So what exactly happened to Kenny Veach? Well, there were a few theories and some more clues that we will go over. The first and most common theory is that during his hike, he took too many extra chances, and this time it proved fatal. Kenny, being the avid hiker that he was a very capable hiker, and he knew it. In order to make his hikes more challenging, he would limit his water and food supply during his hikes. Many believe that this is what happened, and either he got lost or ran out of the needed supplies during this adventure. He also could have gotten hurt during this hike, and being that no one is anywhere nearby to help him, he died from exposure. Now, this does seem like a very simple and easily explained theory. It comes with one major issue, and that being there is no body. The destination that Kenny was going for was very documented in his first video, and many even believe that the end cave was shown in the video as stated earlier. From the date of this video uploaded, he has been missing coming up 8 years, and many people have documented on YouTube going and looking for the M cave and for Kenny Veach. If he was injured, it would be on a pretty easy area for people to find because it would have been on the set path that he was traveling on. Unless Kenny got lost on the way, of course, then this might keep people from finding his body for some time, but he seemed to know the area very well. I just think for this theory, there would have been a body in a very accessible area for someone to find over the years. Now this leads us to another theory. A few months after his disappearance, out of nowhere, we would get an update on Kenny's video from someone claiming to be Kenny's girlfriend, Sherrion Pilgrim. Her comment goes as follows. I am the girlfriend that Kenny spoke of in his video. There are so many posts I had no idea until a friend let me know. So many people are wondering what happened and guessing different things. You are heartfelt about the sadness around what has happened with Kenny. He has not been found, and I feel that he will probably not be found for many, many months, if ever. I want to share what I know and feel about what happened, so that you might bring some closure and understanding in your own lives. Kenny absolutely loved hiking in the desert. It was his very, very favorite thing to do. We hiked and camped together all over the Nevada desert, sometimes 9 hours in a day. We found many abandoned mining towns, usually referred to as ghost towns by Nevada hikers. We explored many caves and mine shafts. We were always careful how we explored them, but Kenny was a bit more daring than I was. We wore snake guards, sun-protected clothing, used walking sticks, brought enough water and food for the hiking hours, and had extra water, food in the car. I want you to know that I do not think Kenny had an accident. I believe he committed suicide. He battled depression for many years and would not take medication or see a doctor. He quit his job a little more than a year before he disappeared. The search for him was started within a couple days of my call. Over 30 search and rescue team members searched 3 different times on foot. 1 helicopter flyover was done and there was no trace of Kenny or any of his camping things. They found his car in the area that I told them it would be. They did find his cell phone by the mine shaft in the video. The mine shaft was only about a 4-hour hike from his car. It is my feeling that he left it behind so that he could not be tracked from the GPS in it. He also did not take his video camera with him on his solo hike. It was left in his home, so he had no intention of filming anything. There was more to the comment, but it just talked about being safe when out hiking and not to do what he used to do, but there are a few things I want to point out in this comment by her that are a little strange. For one, it seems odd that Kenny would head out without his camera this time around. For all the backlash that he got for not finding the cave in the first video, why would he head out to find the cave a second time and not document what he found? Another thing was the place that his cell phone was found was exactly where he was standing and talking in the previous MK video. If he didn't want to be tracked, why would he just leave his phone in his truck that was 4 miles back, and why would he return to a place that was in a very well documented part of his other video? You would think if he didn't want to be found after he took his life, he would head somewhere completely different than the start of the mine shaft. She also talked about Kenny battling depression and not being able to get his business going. This seems a little odd to me after I stumbled across a business website called Living Abundantly for none other than Sherrion Pilgrim. The website talks about Sherrion having a diverse entrepreneurial background in business ownership and helping teach people how to build their own business and being a mental health expert. The website states, in addition to the passion she has with working with others, she has a passion for nature photography, country dancing, and hiking off-trail across the Nevada deserts, roaming through ghost towns and abandoned mining towns. Now, a lot of that verbiage is very similar to the comment that was made on Kenny's video, which raises a few questions for me. First off, I don't know how deep the relationship was, but it seems like they were together for quite some time. This didn't seem like a brand new relationship. It just seems a little weird that her exact reasoning for her thinking he took his own life is the main focus of her own business, helping others build a business and being a mental health expert. You would think that she would do her best at helping him through these issues if they were in a relationship, but mental health is something that is very unpredictable as well, but it just makes it seem like Kenny taking his own life is very unlikely. There was really no warning to him doing this, and he didn't leave a note for his friends or family. I just think Kenny would have left something to help a little bit with the closure to why he disappeared. The most popular theory has to do with the M cave itself and what Kenny might have stumbled upon. Remember the comment left from Lemmi Killmister falls in this theory as well. Many believe that Kenny found something that he shouldn't have. He claimed the cave was close to a military base, and many think that he could have found a back door to Area 51. Now throw in the comment by Killmister that if Kenny went into the cave, he would never get back out, and we have a full-blown conspiracy. Did the government catch on that Kenny found something he shouldn't have, and this was a warning for Kenny to stay away? The account has since been deleted, and nothing more has come from this, so at this point, this is just all speculation. Many also believe that at 15 minutes and 43 seconds of the end cave video, he walks by the end cave either knowingly or unknowingly, but they think the cave had been covered up by rocks. The theory goes that the government found out about his findings, went and covered the cave, then made the Killmister account to send him a warning not to go back. When Kenny went back the third time, he was intercepted by the government and locked away, killed, or made to live in silence. There are a lot of different ideas that fall under this banner. Let's be honest, if this is what happened, there is no way we would ever be able to prove it. Now for the final theory. Kenny Veach is still out there and he just needed to start over with a new life off the grid. A documentary by HLN has been released and I caught wind of it by Sherion Pilgrim's YouTube channel. She posted a short unreleased clip from the original MK video that she got off of Kenny's camera. In the comment section, she mentioned the documentary that was going to be released soon, but I have only able to find some small clips and one was of his daughter, Victoria Veach. In this clip, she stated she wouldn't be surprised if he just up and vanished to start a new life living off the grid in the wilderness. Kenny certainly had enough experience to be able to do this. He knew the wilderness and he knew how to survive, even training himself, so to speak, to be able to survive off the bare minimum through grueling hikes. Maybe Victoria knows something that no one else does, and this is why she is stating this in the video, letting people know that he is gone and doesn't want to be found. He is living the life under his own terms and how he wants to enjoy the wilderness and outdoors. Until we are certain with hard factual evidence, it's really hard to come to a final conclusion on the disappearance of Kenny Veach and the mysterious M Cave.